Hey there. So how about a model catch up here? So all my progress on these projects. So we'll start with the truck. Truck's going okay. Body's pretty much where it should be. I think that's okay. I might do a little something to the hood. I still have to primer it. The bed's pretty good. Not much to do on that. One of the fenders came loose and tailgate fell off, but I put those back on. This is the interior bucket. I had ground away part of this in here. Reason being that this is the chassis, which is gloss black. It doesn't matter about that, but I'll paint that flat black. But you can see that the interior tub fits right over this piece here, which of course covers it underneath, so you're not going to see anything that's ugly there. But that pretty much covers that up. So I made the side panels and the back and all that because remember I used the Dremel tool and cut out the bench seat that was in there so that I could put two bucket seats in there, and I may have to put some risers underneath them to raise them up a little. I've got to test that and see. I mean, they look a little low because you would think that the driver's head would have to be a little bit above the door sill. So I don't see any problem with that. But that's the way it's going right now. These seats are, I got a good deal on these. I got like 6 or 8 of them off eBay. Some guy printed all 6 or 8 of them. I want to say they're out of a Bugatti or something, but to me it doesn't really matter. It's a modern high back seat, and it was a good deal. So I might even order some more because I've been using them up. So I know these are. It gets a little ugly in there the way that it was made, because it's a little hard to work with. You can't really get any sandpaper in here. There's only a little bit left of the door panel, but it's really hard to get in there and sand. So I decided to use some of this. I have a big roll of this material. It looks kind of like carbon fiber. So I cut pieces of that off and put those on the inside. You're not really going to see this anyway. It's black. It's going to be dark. And once you get it up in there, unless I paint the seats a different color, and I might do something with the dash to match the seats, but you're really not going to be able to get in there and see it anyway. So I painted those. I mean, I cut this out. This is like it's a sticker type material. Like I say, I've got a whole big roll of it. It's about 2 feet wide and has so many feet on the roll, and I've used it for different projects over the years. So I put that on the side for now. I may put one on the back, and then I may put some flocking or something on the floorboards, but you can't really see much because once you put the seat in there, there's just not much to see. So I think it'll be fine. That's where we're at on that. This is the engines put together. I'm going to detail paint some of the parts on it, and of course, and all that, like the belts and the injectors, and probably the sides of the blower and things like that. But I'm going to wait and see how the body color comes out before I do anything. Valve covers will definitely be a different color. So this is the way the 3D engine came, so I didn't have to make any modifications to it. I simply put it together. And this is, you know, the heads were separate, the block, the oil pan, the transmission, the blower, injector, the belt, pulleys, timing cover. So once you put it all together, it comes into what you want it to be. And that's about it on that. I don't see any other things that are going to be changed on that one. So unless something pops into my head, you never know. So we're moving on to the 32. First, the body's painted. Chassis been started. So the engine's in it. You know, I like I said before in the previous videos, I don't have any hot rod models. This is the only one. And I got this specifically to do the build. But man, I have no patience for all these little tiny fiddly parts on these hot rods. Because these bars here, they keep falling off and everything, and you know, so it is what it is. But I mean, you can't use a ton of glue, right? It's the same problem, you know. You don't want to use a lot of glue, but you got to use enough to hold it on there. So, but it'll be all right. It'll come around, and I'm looking forward to getting it together. This is the interior, just simple red. Like I say, it's going to be a simple hot rod to go with the song, and yeah, it'll be fine. I don't see anything drastic in going in there unless I happen to add some kind of detail or something funny to go on the seat. But so that's going to work out good. Then we're going to have the body on there, and it's coming along. I mean, I'm not having any problems with it. It's funny that, you know, it's a Brian Seltzer song, but this song, this kit also comes with a guitar. I don't even know if that'll focus. There we go. It's trying to focus. There it goes. So, yeah. So I may have to paint up the guitar to somehow go with this car. I'm not sure how I will do that yet. But, so that's cool too. I forgot that would be in there. The BMW's coming along. I had already painted this car, and of course it has these photo etch parts. So let's turn this around a little bit here. So it has these photo etch parts. So, and I painted the body. I was figuring that, now this had a grill that went here. It was molded into it, and I had to cut it out. But I didn't realize that I would have to cut it out. I thought that this piece would go glued on top of the molded in one. But after looking at this kit comes with special instructions just for the photo etch. So after I was looking at that, I went online and watched somebody else put one of these together. And very briefly, they didn't show the guy, he didn't show cutting this out. But I could tell, like, before and after in just a few seconds when it switched from one scene to another, that he had cut it out. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I do have to cut that out. So I cut it out, and then I'll put this one in there. And then, of course, there's two that also go. Now, not all these kits of these BMWs have photo etch. So a lot of them you won't have to do this unless you have probably this specific kit. But these are molded in here too, and you can see that there's two pieces here. Here with the two holes in them in the top there, or off the left side of the screen there. I'm pointing to with my thumb. Those go in here. I've already removed the material on here on the bottom, and then those pieces will go in there. I'll have to bend them slightly, but they'll go inside there. And again, I already painted it and everything. I never would have painted it if I'd have known I had to do that, but it didn't seem to affect it. I mean, it's molded in white plastic, so it doesn't really, you're not really going to notice it once I get it all put together. So it's not a big deal. And that's how far I got on that. The chassis for the truck, like I say, is gloss black. There's not a lot to it. This is a very simple kit, so it's not a lot of parts to it. And I just wanted to make sure, but I know that if the engine fits in there, which it does, and when the engine goes in there, I'm going to have to make a cross mount for the transmission, but that's very simple, very easy. And then hopefully I can get this thing up on wheels and then get going on seeing how low it's going to sit or where it's going to sit, and then going forward with the rest of the thing. This is that high gloss black paint that I use, and it's still a little tacky. It takes about a week for it to dry. So, but it works good. And just as an added bonus, I actually got some work done on the ship. I'm going to pick this up and do this because I don't want to have to pick the hull up. This is not the best of kits, but it's one of the, probably the only kit, or there's one of two versions that I know of. And Zvezda makes one of them. But this one has just these decks here, and you know, it's hard getting everything to line up. And this piece keeps popping off, so I had to put this clamp on it to hold it for like a third time, because nothing, masking tape or heavy weights. I did everything and nothing would hold it, so I decided, well, I'm just going to glue it and clamp it again and see if the clamp will hold it. Once it's glued together, it should be fine. But I've got other decks painted to get those on there. I have to paint the orange on this. It's two basic colors, orange and green. The decks are green. So I don't know why a lot of ships use green decking, but I'm not sure. Not just Russian ships, British ships and other research ships. A lot of them seem to use green. I'm sure there's a reason for that. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if that's based on aesthetics or science. Although I have read a couple articles and over the years, because I built another Russian ship, and the Russians at times were known to paint their decks in with whatever color they had left over. So, you know, there was no specific color for the ship decks. It's like, well, what do we got? Gray paint. Okay, painted gray. What do we got? Green. Okay, painted green. Whatever paint they had, that's what they used at the time. So that could be a myth. I don't know, but I have read that several times. So that's good for modelers because you can't really get you know, somebody busts you up about, you know, having the wrong deck color. It's like, well, yeah, but you know, how long was it that deck color? 3 months, 6 months, a year? Who knows? All right, so that's the we're catching up. That's it for now. Just to let you know, I have been modeling. I have been working. It's going slowly. You know how it is. You got to wait for glue to dry. You got to wait for paint to dry, and sometimes you got to be in a mood. And for me, it has to not be raining so I can at least get some painting done. It rained this morning, but I went out, ran some errands today. I had today off, and then ran some errands I had to take care of, and by the time I came home in the afternoon, the rain was long gone. It's sunny outside, so I got a chance to get some paint done. Mostly of it on the ship. So that's where we are. I'll see you in the next video. Later.